Hello everyone, my name is Raheel and I'm here with the esteemed Dr. Madsen Pirie. Dr. Pirie, thanks so much for having us.
It's a great pleasure to visit Warwick, and I'm hoping that your economic summit goes as well as ones have done in the past. It's got quite a good international reputation.
Thank you so much. Okay, well, I want to keep this moving, so thank you. With the first topic. Recently, Mrs. May announced that she's going to approach a hardline Brexit that is potentially going to favour hardline immigration over access to the single market. Do you think that this is a good policy, and do you think it's a good direction for Britain?
She didn't actually say that. What she said was that Britain should have control over its borders. That doesn't mean taking fewer immigrants. It could even mean taking more immigrants, but it means that we will not have to accept immigrants at the behest of distant countries. It will be the choice of the British people. What immigrants, what type of immigrants, what qualifications they have, where they come from, control over the borders. As for the hard Brexit, she didn't really use that, and she doesn't like that term. She wants, I suppose, what most people would call a clean Brexit. She made it very clear we're coming out of the single market. We cannot be in the customs union as full members because that would deny us the ability to negotiate trade deals with others. And one of the whole point of coming out is so that Britain can become global and negotiate those other trade deals. So she wouldn't like the phrase hard Brexit.
Fair enough. Thank you very much. And on to the second topic, perhaps a little bit more overshadowed because of all the issues to do with Brexit. Recently it was announced that the train line between Oxford and Cambridge would no longer be built by British Railways, and instead it would be built by a separate entity that's going to incorporate a lot more private sector involvement. Do you think that this is a good move? And more in general, do you think the move towards the privatisation of the British Railway service is a good move in general?
First of all, I travel quite a number of times myself between Oxford and Cambridge. It is dreadful. You have to go from Cambridge into King's Cross, transfer to Paddington, and then go to Oxford. It is a time-consuming, arduous journey. Yes, I'd love the idea of a direct train link. And if private firms will come together and put in the investment to do that, then I'd be very much in favour of it.
And on to a more global topic, President-elect Donald Trump has had some good news with the IMF revising growth prospects for America. Some of the reasons cited include his potentially lower corporate tax and his potential deregulation of businesses, as well as his proposed higher investments in infrastructure. Some of these things harken back to Margaret Thatcher's policies, of which you played a very big part in influencing. Do you think that President Donald Trump's policies will have similar effect?
I think on an economic level, Donald Trump's policies will be good for the United States economy. Yes, I think it will produce higher growth than would have happened without them. Incidentally, the IMF has revised upwards their forecast for Britain's economy from 1.2 to 1.5. Even that, I think, is an underestimate. As far as can he replicate what was not only done by Thatcher in Britain, but was done by Reagan in the United States, I think on the whole, I do tend to be an optimist. And I think, yes, this could be done. We can greatly improve the growth rate, higher than it's been of recent years.
Your optimism is much appreciated in the midst of negativity. And on to the final topic. Recently, Finland announced a 2-year probation period with regards to universal income. Do you think that given the increasing automation of the workforce and therefore the increasing unemployment, do you think that this is a good move? And do you think it's something that could potentially be applied to Britain in the near or upcoming future?
The Adam Smith Institute is going to be watching Finland very closely. We're anxious to see what happens on the ground in the real world when you do something like that. It is being considered for Britain. There are various proposals, and they may well have to be modified in the light of the experience of the Finns. But it's very bold of them to do that, and it's going to be a useful lesson for the rest of the world. As far as jobs are concerned, I'm one of those people who believe that technology always creates more jobs than it costs. All right, so technology in the textile industry drove some people out of business, but the wealth it created itself managed to produce a whole raft of new jobs, and the net effect on employment was to increase employment opportunities. I see no reason why modern technology in the present world will be any different from the way it has been previously.
Perfect. And finally, I don't want to keep you too long. The last topic, in his first speech, Labour leader Jeremy Corbyn stated that in order to combat inequality, he wanted to impose a maximum living wage. This was met by media scrutiny and instead revised it to a maximum boardroom pay. Do you think that these are effective measures to reduce inequality? And given your view on the free market, do you think that inequality is a topic we should even be discussing?
I think it's economically illiterate. And furthermore, I think it doesn't matter. Jeremy Corbyn is obsessed with equality. I am not. I think poverty is a lot more important and opportunity is a lot more important. We don't ask, should people be more equal? We ask, should people at the bottom of society have more opportunities extended to them, so they have more chances in life, so they have the opportunities of a better standard of living. Yeah, the rich are okay, they can look after themselves. We should be directing our energies not onto creating greater equality, we should do it to create greater opportunity. And it's the poor people who are going to benefit the most from that.
So instead of creating a greater portion of the pie, create a bigger pie, I suppose.
Indeed, yes. You don't get rich by redistribution, you get rich by creating wealth, by growing the economy.
Brilliant. Thank you so much for your time, Dr. Madsen Pirie.